I started like a chick.
Let's get some truth 101. Living with mental illness. I don't know if a lot of people um, really want to talk to anyone about it, or more than likely admit it at all. But it's kind of like on a good day. Well, it's hard to. People talk to you like you're normal until they find out that you're a little off, And the first thing is like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Everything good? Yeah, what's up? And he got a problem. Hey, how are you today? Are you all right? And it's from a distance too. Like, hey, you having a good day today? No. Um, there's times in life where I dip off from society, and I know people are like, where is Mark at? I don't know if Mark always knows where Mark is at, but, the best thing I can do is be honest about it. On a good day, I'm like Captain Kirk sitting in the chair. On a bad day, I'm like a drunken Dr. Spock, and Kirk is on the planet begging for help. He's like, Spock, you gonna beat me up? I don't know, Captain. You might have to find your own way back, sucker. Yeah. Oh, man. I know I was OCD at a very young age, like different rituals, and then you don't understand that when you're young. Drive your own self back crap crazy. Um, it does mean that you're different in a level of, if you do something, you do it. If you don't, you don't. If you do something, you're methodical about what you do. If you don't do something, you're just like, it's a hell nah. And I think there's positives to that, because it can make you like, there's positives to that because it can make you like very dedicated person when that's what you do. But it also can make you I don't give a crap about that situation when you don't. Diagnosed, I guess, delusional, psychotic, paranoid, a whole bunch of stuff. Paranoia is depressing in itself, because there's always something around the corner. There's is you don't trust anybody. You don't sit a cup down. You take your drink with you. Um, you drive differently. Everybody did something to you on purpose, and it's always just like on you. Going to the doctors is cool. It helps for a while. Um, Medication can help, but I think there's times when medication is just too much, and you do need to self-medicate. I prefer coffee and weed. Coffee relaxes me, and weed wakes me up. Complete opposites. Coffee doesn't wake me up. Well, coffee will put me to sleep. I think that's a indicative that maybe I have a chemical imbalance. Weed is supposed to relax you. Weed wakes me up and makes me hyper focused. Like, everyone behind me is a cop. Maybe you shouldn't be driving. Um, Talking to me is quite unusual, because I have tinnitus, and I've learned to learn to deal with it. When I first got tinnitus, I went to the hospital, stayed and left, because I was like, they're not going to be able to do anything about this. I went back about a year later, and I was right. They wasn't able to do anything about that. I made some appointments I didn't keep, because I'm like, how are you going to help me with something that you basically can't prove? Or how can you help me with this? And there was a time I had taken a medication that just amped it up. Like, it went from, say, like a uncomfortable 7 to a 70. And all I could do was put headphones on and listen to crickets, and wake up in the morning and walk around and cry and pray or yell and scream or sing or something. If it got too quiet, you can really hear it, because you can mask it with like a noise or a fan or a loud TV. But now I've got to a point where it's like, okay, I just deal with it. But I can remember just laying on the floor just in tears, like, this can't be like the rest of my life. And I'm not the person to consider suicide, but I can understand why people do. It definitely humbled me and said, yeah, there's things in life that you're just like, just kill me now. Just, I can't take it. And, whoever watches just know that I'm a very real person. Um, I don't know if I am crazy. I don't think myself as crazy. However, I've probably been called all kind of mofos, but talking to me is different. You have your ears ringing, and then my mind races from thought to thought to thought to thought. It's like my mind is on a NASCAR speedway, and it's just roams running through life, and I can't control that. However, it does make me a very creative person. I can write stories, short stories. I've written short novels, many of them. They're online. Poems. I'm constantly writing. My mind is constantly churning, and there's times that I just don't want to write nothing. My mind just sits and I just let it run. I just let my mind runs like a film that doesn't stop, and it's hard to hear what people have to say when it's the voices in your head are so much. Now you want me to really hear what's going on. But meditation has helped me somewhat to be able to calm my mind down enough to grasp what's going on in the world around me. And I think that, okay, I think that the truth of being able to own your problem is probably one of the best remedies for anybody going through a situation. If you pretend, I think there's a point where pretend can be a lie. But then again, there's a point where pretending can be uh, faith. You're moving in a direction and behaving in a direction you want to be, and you're not quite there yet. But you need that faith to actually break through. Because if you only dealt with what you could see, then you would just be where you are. Um, but there's a time when you pretend and you're just like, it's just fake. Uh, you're not trying to get anywhere. You're just putting on to cope with the situation you're in, to deal with the people that you're around. And, people a lot of times see through BS. A lot of times they just kind of like, okay, you're just trying to get by, and let me have some mercy on you. Like I said in the beginning of this, you when you have mental illness from a child, like when I was a kid, I don't know if the term OCD even existed. I don't know if, people understood different disorders. Why isn't this person getting along with others? Why doesn't this person want to be around others? Did we call it introverts back then? I don't even know. But um, it's hard to be introverted and extroverted at the same time. It's like you're like, it's like you jump in the car, you jump out of the car. Um, One person that I grew up watching that I just saw that just passed away a few years ago, Robin Williams. The energy this guy has, but then I read somewhere it said that, if he wasn't on stage, you wouldn't have known that he was in the room. how can that be? That kind of lets me know it's kind of like you could be introverted and extroverted, in the same body. Like you have a Dr. Spock and a Captain Kirk going on at the same time, and they're both wrestling, for the center stage in your mind. And that could be hard to deal with. Um, I took to comedy. I thought that if, I don't thought, I think, because I still believe, like, if I can be joyful for me, then starting with myself, then I could spread that joy to others that suffer uh, with depression, uh, suicidal thoughts, bipolar, psychotic episodes, paranoia, delusional, all the above. And, not everybody is quote unquote normal. In life. Um, it takes a profound individual to get on a stage in front of people that you don't know, where you're basically emotionally naked and at your most vulnerable, and let it all just hang out. That is uh, that's my spotlight in the car. And let it all hang out. It takes a profound individual, not saying that I am, but people that have done it before me. I've only done one showcase at the Institute, and the rest have been open mics. And I just kind of sat back for the past few weeks and just like, some things going on in this world that's really effed my head up. The slave trade in Libya. I have some people on my page from my profile, Markmelvinstandup, that actually live in Africa, and I go through their page and see literally what's going on there. I Yesterday I had the unfortunate opportunity to watch real life slave traders. I saw a man in a tire burned while people, you know, yelled, "God is great," and threw his clothes on him so that he would burn. I saw another man naked and his hands and feet were chopped off, and then his head. I saw another man on a pole on fire, and I watched another man in a room duct taped and gagged and his mouth covered, beat mercilessly and stabbed as well. Um, I wasn't there. That's just on Facebook, and you don't forget images like that. And the hard part is people yelling, "God is great." I've read a lot of scripture and studied multiple religions. uh, for the knowledge of and to be compassionate towards other people's beliefs that aren't mine. And I believe everyone has a right to believe what they want to believe, but there are those um, that think if you don't believe what I believe, then I should kill you. I think religious dogma in any religion is just too much. It's just too much. It's almost like religion doesn't bring people together, it divides people. So I made a monologue film yesterday called The Teaching. That's my third monologue film this year. It's just me talking, holding my phone, saying how I feel. You have religions that just make people act in fear, that, something horrible is going to happen to them when they die if they don't do something to you while you're alive for not believing what they believe. This is crazy. And I'm not just talking about today, or in our history, in the past, in multiple religions across the globe. Human sacrifice, animal sacrifice. What are we really talking about here? And I don't want to get too deep off in it, but I think that, people need to calm down and walk in peace and be a lot more tolerant of others' beliefs and let God deal with that. And if you really believe in God and God knows best, let God deal with that. Don't take it into your hands to bring horrors to other people that don't hold your beliefs, no matter what your belief is. That's just a atrocity, crime of humanity. That's just, I can't get with that. Think what you want to think and say what you want to say, but I don't agree with you. So back to being crazy. Comedy gives me, I can't just say that comedy is an escape. I think comedy is a weapon, like joy or peace. It is a weapon. It's a shield. You could definitely call comedy a religion. You could call joy a religion. If you're walking in joy and it's a way of life, but don't make a mistake and think that this shield is just going to be around you forever, because you're still going to see things and hear things and experience things that are not joyful. And it is going to change your vibration and lower your energy, but you know what? You're going to get through that. And on the other side, there's joy. And this world is really effed up on a lot of levels. And I can't just say it's the actual world itself. I'd say a lot of people in this world are just, that's just ain't right. And it really not. If you could have sex with babies or murder innocent people or just, do crazy things to women and, go kill people's dads and hurt old people and, just not being a good human being or respectful of the rights of others to live a peaceful life that don't agree with what you say. That's just wrong. One of my coolest neighbors was this Buddhist guy from Japan. Well, actually, he was Hawaiian. Man, he made some great food. Great neighbor to have, so peaceful. You could just feel the peace falling off of these two guys. Great neighbors to have. I've had other neighbors. I have neighbors now that were Mormons. They left the church for their own personal reasons. But greatest people you ever want to know. You know, the whole family. Good God-fearing people. So kind and friendly and warm. I just blessed to be around them. I've talked to people from all over, all different walks of life, and I think when people talk as individuals, you get along with anybody. You know, I've had country redneck friends in school. They were just the nicest people. You know, and I was their friend too, and have no problem with me being black. You know, when people are one on one or small groups, small gatherings, people get along cool. They were rebel flag wearing and everything. We smoke cigarettes together in the morning, hang out after school, no problems. But here's what happens when you have large groups: pride. Pride kicks in, and what someone says to you one on one that you'll let fly, or they'll let fly when other people are looking. Now it's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We say it together. You know, we say that when we together, we can get away with that. Call each other all kind of mofos. But you can't say that in front of my boys because I can't let them see you looking, saying that to me. And then, you know, then you have this group quarrel and friction and things happen. And it gets ugly. It gets bad quick. And, you know, I look forward to the day when the world changes. I look forward to the day when you don't have to lock your door and people really walk in peace and you don't need money. You know, we're like the small tribes where people get together and build a nice little mud house for the family, and you know, it was just a labor of love. You know, I've got the grapes, you've got the apples, they got the rice. Somebody's over here cooking corn, and somebody's making bread, and we're gonna have a nice little veggie burrito with some soup, and you know, drink some fresh juice and play the little djembe drums, and somebody's getting a guitar. We got some singers, and you know, we're gonna wake up tomorrow, do the same shit again. I look forward to that world and the Rainbow Tribe. You know, all colors, all everything. You know, where it's just one world, one world of beautifulness, of bliss. I look forward to that. Yeah, yeah. Is there anybody else out there like me, or is everybody just out for themselves and just want to start a war? Is there any other peaceful people out there that just want to be cool? Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of other people like that. Yeah.
I started like a cherry.